Welcome to Over 40, Fabulous and Pregnant. I am your host, Jamie Massey, and you're listening to episode 76. If you are looking for pregnancy stories of women over 40, you've come to the right place. And today on the show, we have Sarah on to share her pregnancy journey at 43. In this episode, Sarah has a 3-month-old daughter she conceived with donor eggs. She goes into a lot of detail about how she got pregnant naturally, but both times she did lose these pregnancies, so she turned to IVF, and then she had 2 great egg retrievals. She also shares how she was able to pay for IVF and the donor eggs, which I know is such a pain point for many of you. Sarah also says eggs a few times instead of embryos, so just be aware of that. I have been brainstorming how I can help more women over 40, and I think season 2 is going to be a little different. Now, by season, I mean second set of 100 episodes, because we are getting close to episode 100. I have focused on women's pregnancy stories for the first 100, and I think I want to focus on experts in going into detail on different topics on how to get pregnant over 40 and overcome different challenges we are facing. I want to discuss things like diet, low AMH, egg quality, and really things along that line. Will we ever come back to pregnancy stories? Maybe. I'm not sure where the next 100 after that will take us. Which means there are only limited spots to tell your pregnancy story over 40 if you'd like to share. I am working on scheduling those right now, so please email me at jamie@over40fabulousandpregnant.com, or you can DM me on Instagram always, or you can go to the contact page on over40fabulousandpregnant.com to tell me you'd like to share your story and give me a little bit more information about your journey. I am really excited for this new challenge, and I hope you are too. I'd be happy to hear what you think about where we're taking the next 100 episodes. If there are any topics you want me to discuss, feel free to send them my way. I haven't decided what it looks like between the 2 seasons, like time-wise and where having a baby falls into all this. I do know the mission of season 2 will be to get every woman over 40 pregnant that wants to get pregnant. And I will be sharing more as we get closer and I start planning all those episodes. We had such a great recording with the IVF roundtable discussion. We had Sonia from episode 50, Nisha from I think episode 45, and special guest Adriana, who hasn't had success with IVF. It was so good that we recorded for 3 hours. And I did a poll on Instagram if you wanted me to cut that show down or release a 3-hour episode or make it 2 shows. Making it 2 shows won by far. And I am so glad because I do not know where I would cut things out. This is going to be such a great show, and this is going to be episode 80 and 81 as part 2. I am 24 weeks, and I'm feeling so good about it. I am ready to announce it on my personal page and Facebook. I also started preparing. I found a few going home outfits. I bought 2 depending on what size he is. One of them was one my husband likes. He likes burgundy. So I bought a little burgundy, super cute onesie, and then the hat has his name on it. And then the other one is a little blue shorts with white rainbows on it. I'm just so drawn to rainbows, and I think it would just be really cute. I bought two depending on what size he is, because he is already apparently 1.5 pounds, and I don't know if he's going to fit in newborn clothes. I also bought wooden nameplates. I don't know if that's the right word, but there's little wooden plaques with his name on it, and then you can write down his birthday and the time he was born and his weight and all that good stuff. I bought a few of those. I also bought a baby book called The Journey to You, an Egg Donation Story. That is the book that Tara recommended. My sister is also sending me a box of baby stuff, I think, maybe maternity stuff also. Like she's getting me a breast pump and I don't know what else. She didn't want to tell me. I had also bought my niece these pajamas with chickens on them because I thought it would be funny, and I have chickens. So I just thought it would be something funny. And so I asked her yesterday, I was like, do you still have them? She did. And she's going to send me those also. I'm starting to get excited, and let's just say it's about time. I'm feeling really good. We went on a 1.5 mile walk yesterday with the pups. It doesn't sound like much, but the elevation change is about 100 feet. So it's a bit harder than you might think. Putting on shoes has been getting more difficult. I like those slip-ons that Jamie and a few others have recommended, but I need something office casual approved. So the search is on. My next appointment is April 1st, where I also get to take the glucose test. That intro was a little longer than normal, but let's get into Sarah's pregnancy journey at 43. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And Sarah is joining us with her pregnancy with donor eggs at 43. But before we get started, Sarah, will you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a personal trainer down here in Miami and came to Miami about 23 years ago to go to college and just never left. Fell in love with the sun and the beach and married a lifeguard and just decided to make my life down here.
Yeah, it's funny. She is from the Dallas area too. We actually went to high school not too far away from each other.
Oh, about 15 minutes? That's about it.
Yeah, something like that. Not too far.
Mm-hmm.
And you're wearing your tank top and it's like 35 here.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'm so envious.
Oh, man.
Okay, Sarah. So I guess where do you want to start with your story? Maybe whenever you got married and wanted to have kids?
So I got married at 28, but
Ooh.
I was not ready to have kids. And my husband already has a child. He's 26 now. And so he had told me when we got married, it was up to me. Like he left the ball in my court. He said, if you want to have kids, I'm for it. If you don't want to have kids, I understand. Like it's up to you. Like I already have a kid. So I've already, filled that need, but I'll do whatever you want. And I, for the longest, didn't want to have kids. I was just really enjoying my freedom and being young and just doing adventures. Like we like to travel and we go rock climbing and surfing and mountain biking. And we were doing all the things. And around age 38, my best friend at the time, she was also 38. And she had kind of stuck this little bug up in me. And she said, I think I'm ready to have kids. And I think it'd be really cool if we would get pregnant at the same time and we could both like run with our jogging strollers down the boardwalk and we could do play dates together. And I think it would be fun to do this chapter with you, to like have a buddy, a friend to do motherhood with. And I started thinking about it and I was like, you know what, it wouldn't be so bad. And why am I so afraid of having a kid? Why do I shy away from it? What is my reasoning?
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't really think of a good reason. Like there was nothing that was like keeping me from not wanting to have kids. And I really thought about how I don't want to get to the point where I'm like too old and I'm sitting there on a porch with my husband and thinking about why we never tried to have kids. What was, and just living in that regret. Like I didn't want to have that regret. Like we didn't even try. Like we're both healthy. We have a great connection. We have a great love together. Why didn't we even try? So I said, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. So I got off with the birth control pill and it took me about a year to get my period naturally because I had been on the pill for 20 plus years.
Uh-huh.
So since I was 16, I was on the birth control pill.
Wow.
So it took my body a long time to just reacclimate to natural hormones and just readjust. And so after that year, I went and saw a fertility doctor because I hadn't gotten pregnant and my periods were irregular. They were like every 40 days instead of every 30. And so my doctor was like, you're going to need some fertility medicine because you need to ovulate at a certain time in the month. So if you ovulate too late, like if you ovulate on day 29 of your period, your egg is, she pretty much told me your egg is pretty much bad fruit. It's not going to fertilize correctly. Like you want to
get too mature, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she said, we're going to have to speed it up. And she gave me some medicine to try that would like make me ovulate between day 8 and day 12. And we did that for about 3 months. And they recommend that you don't do it longer than that because it could lead to ovarian cancer or something. Like it's just,
whoa.
Yeah, so just not too much hormones. So just try it for a little bit. If it doesn't work, try something else. So we did it for 3 months. It didn't work. So then the next step was, well, you should do IVF then. And at that point, it was COVID. Like it was 2020 and COVID had just happened. And so nobody knew what was to expect. And she didn't want me to start a cycle and have it like canceled or not being able to complete it. So she's like, why don't you just hold off? And I was 40 at the time. She's like, why don't you just hold off and we'll just see what's happening with this pandemic. Like just press the pause button. Mm-hmm. So when I did that, I was like, well, let me do what I can naturally. So I started seeing a nutritionist and she ran this Dutch test on me, which is you pee on this like strip and for like a whole month they test all your hormones, like your estrogen levels, your progesterone, your testosterone, and you see what you're like lacking. And so based on that, I was lacking like progesterone and testosterone. So she gave me like supplementation to help me regulate that. I started seeing an acupuncturist weekly because I read that that's supposed to help with fertility. And my acupuncturist was great. She's like, I'll get you pregnant in 6 months. And she did. So
wow.
I started doing Reiki where I would have a massage and like the Reiki is like the energy healer. And like she would just like balance my energy. And I did all the things. Mm-hmm. And within like 6 months, like in 2021 in January, I got pregnant and I was so thrilled and excited. And unfortunately, that pregnancy didn't work out. I had a miscarriage.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was tough. It was so tough.
Yeah. How far along were you?
Not far. Like, I was at the initial scan. It was like a 10-week scan. Mm-hmm. And I brought my husband in the doctor's room with me. And we go inside and the doctor can't find the heartbeat. And he's like telling me to hold my breath. It was just devastating. And we couldn't find the heartbeat. And so we left there just crushed. And within like a month, I got pregnant again. I guess my body was just ready. And I thought, this is it. This is my time. And I did the 10-week scan and everything was great. We heard a perfect heartbeat. And then we did the blood test to see if there was any abnormalities. And it came back that the baby had a third chromosome, trisomy 13. So she was incompatible for life. So that was like week 13. And so I had to have a DNC.
Oh, what a tough decision.
Yes. I mean, you want this baby so bad, but you also don't want to bring a baby into the world that doesn't have a chance to succeed.
Yeah.
And, and could possibly not even make it through the pregnancy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was hard. That was a hard one. And that was in the same year in July. And then my fertility doctor said, why don't you, try IVF again? And I decided, okay, let me give my body a little break. So I took like 4 months off, and then I did my first round of IVF. And I was 41 at the time. I had 10 eggs, and all 10 were good eggs. They all fertilized, but none of them made it to the embryo stage.
Ugh, heartbreaking.
So heartbreaking. Like I was like out of 10, like 10's a good number. Like maybe one, maybe two, like nada, nothing, not one. And so I was just crushed and, decided I'll give it one more go because I bought this bundle financing. So you get like 2 IVF treatments for the price of one. It was they have this. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'll take the deal. I was looking for deals. It's expensive. My insurance doesn't cover any of it. So I did the 2-for-1 special. So I already had it, paid for. So I was like, I'll go ahead and do one more. So this was the beginning of 2022. I did that, and I didn't have as many eggs that time. I had 5 eggs. They also all fertilized, and all of them didn't make it to the embryo stage, like not one. So I'm like, I can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. This is not working.
Yeah.
So what are my other options? And my doctor said donor egg. And I had to think about it. I was like, am I okay with that? My baby's not going to have my DNA. It'll have my husband's. But I have a higher chance of it being successful because it comes from a younger egg, a younger donor. And so I started thinking about it, and I was like, I'm okay with that. I really want a baby. And I want a baby with my husband. So I think this is my best chance. So I started looking for donors. I found one that was almost pretty similar to me. Like she was also into health and fitness, ran the hurdles. Her profile pictures were her like hiking in the woods and skiing in Colorado. I was like, we could be sisters, like, into adventure just like me.
Did you use the egg banks, or did you use like a specific one for your fertility doctor?
Yeah. So the fertility doctor recommended 2. There's only 2. And one of them is in Dallas or somewhere in Texas. And the other one's in Virginia, a Fairfax egg bank. And that's the one I went with. So they only use 2 egg banks in the United States. I guess they have a very like high vetting system. Like the egg bank has to meet certain criteria for them to work with them. And so they were like, you have to pick from either choice A or choice B. And so, it took me a while. I would say 6 months till I found the right donor.
Wow. What was important to you?
Oh, she wanted her to have blue eyes because I have blue eyes. And just Caucasian because both me and my husband are Caucasian. So just wanted a Caucasian donor with blue eyes. That was it, really. And it was pretty slim pickings for a while. Like I feel like you have to buy them like
right away
or put a hold. I put a hold on mine. Like I had been looking and I found this donor popped up and she had a bachelor's degree in business and like, just really similar style to me. And I was like, this is the one. Like I felt like a good vibe from her. So I immediately called and placed a hold. I think you have to put like a $100 hold or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then within like 72 hours, you have to decide if you want the eggs or not. And they're not cheap. They were $18,000.
Same.
So I was like, okay, I had to borrow money from my stepmom. I mean, at this point, I had already taken out 2 loans to finance the IVFs. I'm like, I can't even get approved for another loan.
But you're doing it.
I'm like, I have to do it. Like, there's something in me. Like, this is what I really want. I want a baby. I feel like these are all the right signs. So I borrowed the money. I got the eggs. They came down here. I got 6 eggs and they fertilized them with my husband's sperm, and 4 of them turned into embryos.
Wow.
Out of 6.
That's really good.
I was like, that's a good batch of eggs.
Yeah. We only got 2 embryos from 6 eggs.
Wow.
So that's really good.
I mean, by day 4, I think they were embryos. Like, usually it takes like 7 days or 6 days. And like,
I think it's usually 5 or 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, by day 5, they're like, come in, we're ready to implant you.
Wow.
And they send you a little picture of what your embryo looks like this perfect little circle.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole world,
Yes.
It's like a little picture of the world. You're
Now,
really excited.
How did you decide which ones to transfer?
They don't let you pick. They pick for you, the embryologist.
How did they pick? To the best quality or?
Yes. That's what I asked. I was like, did you pick the best one? So yeah, they look at each one under a microscope and they just see like which one looks like the most, like, I guess, less defective.
Mm-hmm. You didn't have any testing, so you didn't know any of the sex or the genders.
No, they don't recommend it because the eggs already come frozen. Mm-hmm. And so they said that like if they were to test them, they would have to freeze them again to wait for the results and then thaw them for a second time to implant them into you. And some of the eggs don't survive that second thaw. Mm-hmm. So they said they don't recommend it. So
yeah.
So it's just like a gamble, like everybody else.
Yeah.
50-50.
I know. Same with us. They didn't recommend doing any of the testing either. So walk us through the transfer in your 2-week wait. The fun part.
So the transfer is like super easy. You just go in. My husband has like long hair, like a old school rock and roller. So they looked at him like once over and was like, you got to put on this hairnet, buddy. So he had to wear this hairnet, look like a cafeteria lady sitting in the chair next to me. It was hilarious. My doctor comes in and gets me all ready. And then the embryologist team, they're like in the side office and they open the door and they come in with your egg on a little petri dish. And they've got like Tom Petty like blaring in their office. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like a cool group of people. And the doctor said, yeah, we found that the eggs actually produce better when they're surrounded by music. So we always have music playing in the embryology room. And I'm like, that's really awesome. I love to hear that. Like, these little cells are growing with all this good energy.
Yeah.
So they come in, they show you your egg on your little dish, and then doctor puts it on a needle and puts it inside you, and she dropped it off, and you're watching this the whole time on the little ultrasound screen. And then the embryologist looks at the needle when they're done to make sure the egg is no longer there, but my egg had stuck. So she had to do it again, and she said it was a good sign that it was so sticky. Mm-hmm. She was like, that means it's going to stick inside you. So they had to do it again, and then they made sure for 100% that the egg had left inside my body. So they had kept it there. The needle was clean, and then I went home, and my friend had recommended that, I sleep on the couch because she said, you should stay on your back for 72 hours. Like, don't like turn, don't lay on your side. So just go sleep on the couch. So that's what I did. I slept on the couch on my back and, just stayed really mellow for the first 2 days. And then I think after day 7, I started taking at-home pregnancy tests and it was positive. And then I got the call from the nurse and they said, I had a good HCG count, and I came in and they kept checking my levels and it kept going up, doubling and going up. And
do you remember what they were?
I don't remember what they were, but
Okay.
they were high. They were high. And
that's good.
And then I remember like the technician that did the first ultrasound with the heartbeat was just like, isn't that the most beautiful sound in the whole world? And just like her excitement for me, and like even though I was like super scared because of my past like miscarriages and stuff, like that moment was just like so uplifting, just like her excitement and joy that, here we are like with this beauty, this gift, this life, and it's growing inside of you. And it was a nice moment for me. It was very remarkable. I remember that.
Yeah. How was your 2-week wait? Like, was it stressful for you?
No, I mean, I took the at-home pregnancy test and it was positive. I think I took 2 or 3 of them. So I already knew, but I just, I also didn't know, like, is it going to be healthy this time? Because I've had pregnancies in the past that were not healthy. So that was my main concern, because we weren't able to test to see if the egg was good or not. So I was just fingers crossed and praying a lot and hoping that this was a healthy egg.
And how was your pregnancy?
My pregnancy was great. It was really, I had no complaints, no problems. The only thing was just my anxiety of, something going wrong. Just nervous, like they scare you. They're like, don't sleep on your back after 16 weeks. Don't sleep on your right side. Only sleep on your left side. And then, constantly second guessing yourself of what you ate. Like, oh no, did I have some smoked tuna dip with, I can't have smoked fish. And you're always like, wait, can I have a caprese sandwich? Is mozzarella okay? Like, just like constantly like worried, like you might be doing something wrong. And like, I remember my gynecologist, my OBGYN saying like, we've been making babies for thousands of years. Just listen to your body. If your body gives you a red flag, if it says alarm, alarm, this doesn't feel good, don't do it. And like, since I'm a personal trainer, I was like, can I continue to work out? Can I continue to work out on my back? And he's like, listen, you can work out as long as you want. He said, at some point, your belly's going to be big and a burpee's not going to feel good. And that's when you stop. And he says, like, if you're doing a sit-up and you feel dizzy, you don't do it. You're like, that's my body's way of saying stop it. He's like, we've been making babies for thousands of years. Take a deep breath. It's okay. Your body will lead the way.
I love that. It's so easy to worry.
So easy. I was, constantly on Dr. Googling stuff, and that's never a good sign then.
Yes. So for your doctor, you said you used an OBGYN. Is that just the doctor you used previously?
No, my friend that wanted to get pregnant with me at the same time, she had recommended them because they're like 15 minutes from my house, and it's a team of 4 doctors, and they rotate. So you see each one of them during your pregnancy, because one of them will be on call when you give birth. And so you have to visit all of them. And the more I talked to people that had babies, they were like, oh, you use Dr. Patron? Yeah, he delivered my baby. Oh, he delivered. So he's well known in the area. He's very respected in the field.
How was it getting past the 10-week mark from your miscarriages?
Well, I was like, I've been here before, with my second pregnancy. So I was like, just because I heard a heartbeat doesn't mean I'm out of the woods yet. I have to get the test to see if they have any abnormalities, which is like week 13. They do the blood draw. And when that came back positive, I had a huge relief, like, just like, oh my God, thank God. It's healthy. Yeah. The baby's healthy. Yeah. But I still wasn't like calm, because then I was like, I got to get through the anatomy scan, and like, people will tell you their stories about like what's happened to them. I was probably the most anxious at the anatomy scan. They take like an hour with you and they take over like 100 photos. And it's a really good, I guess, marker to make sure the baby's growing healthy and has all the body parts and organs. And I was just scared. And my technician was so wonderful and was making jokes like, that baby has the best lips I've ever seen and she'll never need fillers, and just making jokes like, your baby's so photogenic. Look how she's just sitting like that. And, joking with me, making it a fun vibe instead of so scary.
Yeah, that's really nice. Is that when you found out the gender? Was that the anatomy scan?
I found out the gender during the blood draw, the week 13 blood draw.
Yes. Yes. How was that, finding out you're having a girl?
Oh, so I really wanted a girl. And my husband really wants a girl because he has a boy already.
Mm-hmm.
So I got, I had been checking the emails like religiously. It takes like a week, 7 to 10 days to get the results. So I kept checking and checking. And one morning I checked and I saw that it said female. And I woke my husband up. It was like 6 a.m. and he had the brightest smile, like ear to ear grin. He's like, for real? And I'm like, for real, it's a girl. And he was just so giddy. And like that, like happiness made me so happy. So I started to get excited.
That's really fun. That's actually what we're waiting on, is those results. Okay. I think it's a NIP test, an IPT. Yeah. That's what we're waiting on.
And do you know what you want?
I've only pictured myself with girls. And the Chinese calendar says I'm having a boy.
So really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
You'll be happy with either one.
I really will. I'll really will.
That's great.
Was there any products that you could recommend that helped you with pregnancy?
Well, you had Leah Kinsella on your podcast. That's how I found you. And she developed something called the pregnancy deck, which is some guided meditations, affirmations. It's a bunch of cards, and I would sit and think of like a question like, what can I give my baby right now? What does my baby need? And I would pull a card and it would always give me like some good advice. Like, your baby loves you. Your baby is made from love and your baby loves you. And you don't need to do anything more than just send love to your baby. Or I would be anxious worrying about a test or a result. And it would just be like, your body is taking care of your baby. Trust your body. You're doing what needs to be done. Everything is perfect. And you just need to relax.
Yeah.
Which is easier said than done.
That is for sure. What about cravings? Did you have any?
I ate a lot of peanut butter. I loved peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, peanut butter and banana sandwiches. And I just wanted peanut butter shakes. I was into peanut butter.
Mm-hmm. What about classes, and how did you prepare for baby to come?
So I started doing a prenatal yoga class, and it was nice because it was a community of women that were also pregnant. So there was like 8 ladies in different stages of their pregnancy. So that was nice because in the beginning of class, like the teacher would ask like, what's going on in everyone's bodies, and people would talk. And so that was kind of enlightening. Like you could learn something from other people. But the class itself was really slow and boring for me. I was like, oh God.
Yeah, being a personal trainer, I'm sure it wasn't very advanced.
No, which I need to slow down, and I appreciated that, but I found it to be a little boring. So I did the prenatal yoga classes. And I also took a newborn basics class, which was like a 6-hour class on a Saturday. And this like Swedish nanny, this old, like she's in her 70s, and she like pretty much just guides you on everything about newborn care, like how to put a diaper on a baby. And you're given like a doll, and you have to practice putting on a diaper, how to burp a baby, how to bathe a baby, what the different cries mean. There's like 5 different cries. So how to distinguish between what they're trying to say. Like, are they hungry, or do they need to nap, or they need to burp? Maybe they're gassy. So that was pretty helpful. So those are the two classes I took, just the yoga and the newborn basics class.
Mm-hmm. What about home-wise? How did you prepare there?
I mean, I got everything ready. Like, I waited until after the baby shower. So I had the baby shower on week 30.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I started getting the nursery ready. So I put up the crib, and it was helpful because when the baby comes home, you're like tired and you have this newborn and she's crying, and you're like, you know, it's nice to have everything organized and ready to go. So like when the situation arises, you're like, I'm ready. Like, I got this. Like, so everything was set. Like, I had labeled the drawers, like 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 9 months. Everything was laid out. Bath time was ready, you know, so.
I like that. What about, did your doctor want to induce you?
No. So about week like 30 is like when the doctors noticed that she was breech. So her head was up by my chest, and her feet were also up. She was sitting in a pike position. So she would have come out butt first, which, ouch. No, they were like, oh, let's just keep watching this. But, you know, this might turn into a C-section. And, you know, we could try to manually turn her, but I don't really recommend it because her umbilical cord was wrapped from her neck around her shoulder. So kind of like a seat belt.
Uh-huh.
If she had tried to flip, like it would have kept her back because it was like a seat belt keeping her where she was.
Yeah.
And so they said, I don't really recommend trying to manually turn her. So I was like, and even the acupuncturist was like, I can do like certain points to help turn your baby. And I'm like, no. Like, if she's happy where she is, just keep her there. You know, like, I don't want to mess with anything. And, you know, they said we could try to turn her and then we'll be in the emergency room. So in case something happens, we can do an emergency C-section. And I'm like, why? For what? Like, no, let's just do the C-section. You know, like, I don't want to put anybody in extra stress. Like,
yeah.
No. So we scheduled this C-section. So like after week 30, I was coming every 2 weeks. And then as I got closer, it was every week. And they're just checking to see if she's still in the same position, which she was. She was very content with her head up by my chest. So we did the scheduled C-section.
How far along were you?
39. So when you do a scheduled C-section, you schedule it at week 39.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess at that point, the baby's considered full term.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we did the scheduled C-section, came in, there was like 6 doctors in the room. They were all joking and playing music. So it was like a jolly environment. And I've been knocked out from the waist down. So I feel 0.
Perfect.
My husband's sitting next to me. The only problem is the medicine gave me a lot of nausea.
Ooh.
It was just like wanting to throw up all the time. And they would just give me this little hose that looked like a straw.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be like, I'm going to throw up. So they would pass the straw, like something you would use in the dentist's office to spit in. And I'd have to like throw up in this teeny tiny straw.
Oh my gosh.
And then they would whisk it away. And the moment they whisked it away, I'd be like, I'm going to throw up again. Like, there's nonstop throwing up the entire surgery. And then I finally heard her cry, this like, wah! And I was like, oh my God, she's okay. She's alive. She's fine. I didn't do anything to mess this up. Like, she's okay. Thank God. And that was a beautiful moment. And they bring the baby over and they put her on your breast and you try to breastfeed for the first time and your husband's there. And it's just a beautiful moment, magical moment.
And this all happened in the surgery?
Mm-hmm. In the surgery room.
Oh, wow.
Right away, they try to get you to latch.
Yeah, wow.
Immediately.
Was she able to latch?
Yep.
Wow,
but I mean, I don't know if she actually got anything out of it because I think it takes a couple days for your milk to come in. But yeah, she was able to latch.
Yeah. I'm sure the the C-section was quick, wasn't it?
20 minutes.
Wow. Just in and out.
In and out. I don't know why anyone would want to do natural birth. I mean, it's just like it's like in and out. You get to keep your lady parts intact. Like, I mean, I don't know. It was wonderful. When you're doing it, you're not waiting. It's not a huge 32-hour ordeal. It's 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to see your baby.
That does sound pretty nice.
Your stomach is sore because it's an abdominal surgery. So it feels like someone's punched you in the gut, like soccer punched you. But I healed quickly. I healed really quickly. Like I started, the day of the surgery, I was super nauseous and I threw up like the entire day. But the next day I started gaining my strength back and wanting to walk in the halls of the hospital because I just wanted to try to move. Mm-hmm. I'm like a determined person. Like, I'm like, I can do this. So I started walking and then they let us go like 2 days later. Yeah.
Wow. A C-section and you were home in 2 days.
2 days. Yeah.
Wow.
So if your baby is healthy and you're healthy, you get to go. And we were so excited to go because it's just brown and dark. And even though the nurses are so lovely and they're there to help you and answer any questions you have, like you just want your bed, you want your home, you want your like comforts, Yeah. You wanted sunshine and sunlight, fresh air.
Yeah. How was the rest of your recovery?
It went really well. I mean, I just, I think my body responded well. It was like within like 2 weeks, I was like, I was jogging, even though I wasn't supposed to.
2 weeks?
Yeah, because like the doctors, I was like, what am I allowed to do for exercise? And they're like, you can walk. I'm like, okay. So I just would walk every single day and I would power walk. And then I was like, well, if I can power walk, I could probably do a lightly jog. And so I would like jog and I would be like, I feel fine. And I hated that wrap that you have to put around your belly. To give me a rash, like a heat rash. So I threw that wrap away.
Wow. I am just so impressed.
So and then like 6 weeks later, after my follow-up visit, I asked him if I could start weight training again and swimming and bike riding. And he's like, you can do all of those things. Just watch your body, like, modify, do low impact. So I did. And I started and I was like, I feel like myself again. Like I needed that. Like exercise makes me feel good and being outside and movement. Like I needed that and made me feel like normal again.
Mm-hmm. And how did you choose to feed your baby?
I wanted to breastfeed. So I started breastfeeding, but she had lost weight in the beginning. Mm-hmm. So the doctor had recommended that I supplement with formula. So he said, just breastfeed. And then when you're done breastfeeding, give her an ounce of formula. And an ounce is like literally like 1 inch. Like it's nothing. It's like this much formula. And I was like, okay, no problem. So I did that. And it kind of like alleviates a little stress from the mom because like when you're like, oh, I got to breastfeed. Like there's so much pressure. Like you're like, am I giving? There's no like gauge. You don't know. Like, am I giving enough? Like, am I giving any? Like, you have no idea like what's going on. It was nice to have that green light. Like you can do both. Just do both. And I could also have my husband give the formula so I could take a break. Mm-hmm. Like here, you give the baby a formula.
Yeah.
That was good. So I've continued to do that. Like I breastfeed and then I supplement with formula. Mm-hmm. And it also gives you like a little bit of freedom because if you can't nurse for whatever reason, like you can always give the formula. That's why they made it.
Yep.
So she's getting the best of both worlds. Like,
yeah, I love looking at it like that. What about mentally? How were you?
So the first like 4 days, I was like overwhelmed, almost like panic attack style, just like where you feel like the world is like in chaos. Like, just like I have this newborn life that I have to take care of. And I have all these people that are coming over that want to congratulate me and welcome the baby into the world. Like my stepmom, like not friends, like just immediate family. But that was like too much. Like, I mean, I had to like put a kibosh on that. I was just like, after 4 days of visitors, I said, I need 2 weeks to just be at home alone with my baby and my husband. Like, we need to figure this out.
Yeah.
I need to learn her. She needs to learn me. We need to learn each other as we have this baby now. Like, I can't have any visitors for a moment. And everybody understood. And I'm just talking to like my close family members, like my stepson and my sister. And I wasn't even talking about friends. I'm just talking like immediate family. They wanted to come over, but I'm like, no, I can't at this moment. I just need to be alone with my husband and my baby.
Yeah. Get routines established and get to know each other.
So that 2 weeks is actually really nice. Like my husband took off how many weeks? I think it was 3 weeks of work.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nice. Like it was just me and him, and it was quiet, and it was a lot of walks in the neighborhood. It was a lot of TV time because you're breastfeeding all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a lot of Netflix and chill, and it was nice. I was sitting in the backyard. It was just quiet. And like, me and my husband, we get along well. Like we've been together 20 years. So we understand each other, and like it was just not a lot of conflict. It was just peaceful.
Yeah.
And,
like, that sounds nice.
I would go in the nursery and like breastfeed there and put on like music and just make it really like good energy.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else you want to mention about your pregnancy or birth?
Just do acupuncture. Acupuncture helps. And it helped me get pregnant, and it helped me during my pregnancy relieve my anxiety, because, I would go for a session, and when you walk out of the session, you just feel really tranquil, really calm, ready to like conquer the day. And like, it's kind of like drinking a bottle of wine without all the side effects. That's how I can express acupuncture. They're like, what does it do to you? And I'm like, it gives you that like, I don't care vibe. Mm-hmm. Like, whatever, it's all good. Mm-hmm. Get those gas relief drops, because babies are super gassy, and they like trap gas inside. Mm-hmm. And they have this over-the-counter gas relief drops that you can give your baby. And that helped a lot in the beginning. Like when they're first like digesting milk and stuff, like, their bodies are trying to figure it out. It really helps. So gas relief drops is a keeper. Definitely get that. Yeah. What else? Oh, and get like a good lactation consultant, because the breastfeeding is really complicated.
Yeah.
Like I had a lactation consultant who's a good friend of mine. She moved to Tennessee, and she was like on call with me for 24/7 for the first week, just like answering any and all questions, because it's such a huge new thing that you've never experienced. Like you have no idea, and you have to figure it out. Yeah. And so like I had her on call, and I even had one through my insurance that I Zoomed with. She answered my questions, and like that really helped. Like use your resources, use them, because that's what they're there for. And like if you have questions, like I was pumping wrong, like I was pumping at the wrong time. So I was emptying my breast, thinking I was doing a good thing by stimulating my breast. But then when she came to eat, there was no milk left, because it takes like an hour to produce more milk. And I didn't know all of this. And I learned like through making many mistakes in the beginning.
Now, when she first arrived, did you have any trouble bonding with her?
No, I didn't have any trouble bonding with her, but there wasn't like this, like, like this grand love,
Uh-huh.
that I thought I would feel. It was just like, oh, I have a new buddy. I have a new friend, like, someone to hang out with.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, this is one of my fears of not bonding with my baby whenever he or she is born because of the donor eggs, and I don't share genetics, which when I say it, it sounds ridiculous.
yeah, well, I mean, me and my husband have had that conversation because she doesn't look like me or him. She looks like Sasha. She looks like who she
Yeah.
is. So that is a little hard because when you look at your child, you do want to see like characteristics of you in them.
Yeah.
But in the end, she's like her own person. So
She is. She's over there kicking and talking.
you can hear her
A little bit.
She's talking a lot.
And what about, do you have a plan to tell her about how she was conceived?
I think like when she starts questioning, like, how do babies get born? Like whenever that age is like 7 or 8, like whenever she starts asking, like, how do babies get here? That's probably when I'll have that conversation.
Yeah.
And I'll just say, mommy and daddy wanted you so bad that we had to use a helper to get you. And we're so happy that you're here. And just leave it at that.
You have some embryos left. What are your plans? Are you going to have
3 of them?
Yeah. Are you going to have more babies in your 40s?
I know, that's the thing. It's like, I'm 43 now. And so by the time she's 20, graduating high school and starting college, I'll be 63. That's the only downfall. But I'm thinking about maybe one more. So when she turns 1, I will explore that again.
Yeah.
Because I felt like my pregnancy was fine. I felt super healthy the whole pregnancy. I didn't gain a bunch of weight because I stayed active and I watched what I ate a lot. Like I was like, this might be my one and only chance to have a baby. So I'm going to do it right. I'm going to like eat really well, like as clean as I can. I'm going to like move my body. I'm going to like meditate and do all the things. And it paid off because I didn't gain a bunch of weight and I lost the weight like really quickly. And I probably would do it again because I enjoyed the pregnancy. People are so kind to you when you're pregnant. They open doors for you. You get like showered upon. People are like, you are continuing humanity. Thank you.
Yeah, it really is nice.
Like people, just babies bring people together. I hadn't seen or spoke to my aunt in like 11 years. And I posted something on Facebook that one of my cousins had told her that I was pregnant. And she reached out to me and I ended up inviting her to my baby shower just on a fluke. And she came. She lives in Virginia and she flew down and she was so grateful that I was including her in this part of my life. And babies bring people together.
Yeah. Yeah.
People
I love
come
that.
out of the woodwork and they're like, oh, you're having a baby. And like, it's kind of like the Lion King with Simba. Like, just everybody wants to be around you and your baby and the presents. And people are so kind, so kind. I hope I can impart that to other friends and family that get pregnant because it was just so appreciated.
What has been your biggest challenge being pregnant in your 40s?
Just like my past miscarriages and like being scared, not being able to enjoy my pregnancy because I was worried that I would do something wrong to change the outcome. I was very worried, very worried. I had one of those fetal Dopplers so you could hear the heartbeat. And I was like using that all the time. Just like I haven't felt it. Like I was like, maybe once I start feeling her move, I will be more at ease because I'll know that she's okay. But then when you haven't felt her kick or move in a while, then you start to get anxious. So it never goes away.
Would you recommend the Doppler?
Yes.
Okay.
a fetal Doppler. They say you're not supposed to use it too much. So like during the first trimester, I didn't use it at all because you can't hear the heartbeat anyways at that so young. But then after, I think it's like week 18 or something, you can start using it. And I would just use it like once or twice a week just to calm me down and make sure, so I know everything was okay. But then towards the end, like probably week 36 to week 39, maybe daily. Her umbilical cord and where it was like placed, I was just anxious the whole time. So I was using that fetal Doppler a lot to make sure her heartbeat was regular and she was okay. Mm-hmm. And that put me at a peace of mind.
Yeah.
And not for a long time either. You could just do it for a few seconds.
Yeah.
You find the heartbeat, you hear it, you're like, good,
Check.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd recommend that would help prepare someone for pregnancy and birth over 40?
I would recommend, seeing a nutritionist and getting your hormones checked. I did that Dutch test.
Mm-hmm.
DUTCH Dutch test. Mm-hmm. I think it's like $300, but it measures your lady hormones. So your estrogen, your progesterone, and your testosterone. And you can see like where you're lacking. And there are like natural supplements that you can take to make them even. So I would recommend seeing a nutritionist and doing your blood work and seeing like, how's your glucose? Because glucose plays a part in your like way to conceive. And also methylation, how you methylate.
Mm-hmm.
So I would recommend seeing a nutritionist and getting your hormones checked for sure.
Yeah. What advice would you give yourself when you were pregnant if you could go back?
Just trust and have faith. And if it's meant to be, it'll be. And just, this is the circle of life. So have an open heart.
And where can our listeners find you on the internet?
I'm at miamifitnesscoach.com. I'm a personal trainer here in Miami. So if you ever come to Miami, let's do a class. Let's hang out. Let's work out.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for sharing your pregnancy.
Thank you. And I'm now starting a mommy and me boot camp class in the park. So
fun.
It's super fun. That started last week. So you can also come down when you ever come to Miami with your baby.
Yeah.
That I get to meet someday soon.
And that wraps up another great episode on Over 40 Fabulous and Pregnant podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next Monday.